Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well and safe. My name is Victor Reynoso, and today I will be talking about education in a Mexican family. So let's begin. Education in a Mexican family is something that we're all familiar with. As many of you know, education is not always the main priority when it comes to a Mexican household, especially when you come from an immigrant family. Education is something that it's not pushed very, it's not pushed as much as it should be. Um, Education is something that's there. It's your job while you're going to school is your job, but once you're out, and it's time for you to go into the workforce and find a job. In many Mexican families, especially if you come from an immigrant family, higher education is something that is not always encouraged, as much of you are aware. Um, it should be encouraged a lot more than it is, but you know it's not. In many Mexican families, once you are done with high school, it is time for you to go out into the real world and find a job. That way, you can start providing for the family and helping the family out. Higher education is not so much of a priority in a Mexican household as it should be. According to a textbook by author Richard Schaefer titled Racial Ethnic Groups, 15th edition, it states that Mexicans are at lower level of higher education than some other immigrant groups are. According to the textbook, about 9 to 10% of Mexicans have a bachelor's degree compared to other immigrant groups such as Cubans, that they have a 24% with bachelor's degree. What we're all doing in this class is good, is showing that we are educated. We're trying to improve. We're trying to get those numbers up. Um, and education is important to us. That's why we're attending school in college. Um, what we're all doing is very good. We need to improve those numbers, show that Mexican people are educated. We are willing to learn. We need to show new family, new Mexican families that education is okay. It's a route that is there, and we should encourage it more. Um, I know that many people aren't given an option as well when it comes to going to college. In some Mexican households, as soon as you're done with school, it's time for you to find a job because he or she may be the person that feeds the family, and they have to take responsibility, and they have to carry their family on their backs. So that can be hard for them to also go to school when they're having to take care of the entire family. Um, but you know, if you can, it should always be that you should try to go to college and get an education. Um, and in some household, because even because of this, many students also do not get to even finish high school. Um, According to an article from the University of Maryland titled "The Value of Education and Educación: Nurturing Mexican American Children's Educational Aspirations to the Doctorate," author Michelle Espinosa Espino states that as of 2010, 57.4% of Mexicans complete high school. This number is shocking because it shows that only a small percentage, over half of Mexicans, are completing their education. That's just high school education, not um, college education. So, um, I was fortunate enough that my family did push school on me and on my brothers, and that they did encourage it, but they only encouraged high school. It wasn't college was something that we never talked about, something that was, you know, kind of mentioned to us. Um, I was fortunate enough that my parents did say, "Hey, education is key to success," and so that's one of the differences that when I was reading and doing this article and with our Mexican family, is that we did have that difference in where education was something that was important to us because my parents didn't have an education, so they knew what education could bring to us in our future. Um, Another education obstacle that some Mexicans also face in educational system is some of them face educational tracking. Educational tracking is when a school will try to put you in a track based on maybe your color or your last name. Um, yeah, it has gotten better over the years, but for many Mexican families, they believe that schools aren't doing enough to help them succeed. According to an article titled Evaluating the Success of Educational Policy in Mexican Higher Education, author Alberto Rodriguez states that many Mexican people that drop out of school do so because they feel like the educational system is pushing them away. In one study, he stated that a teen dropped out because throughout all his educational career, he was um, put in educational track. He was put in lower at a lower educational level than what he believed at, and it was just the school was working against him, and all because of his last name. And on the article stated that this particular student did not speak Spanish, and you know it was unfortunate that he was almost pushed out of the educational system because of how it worked. Um, so I know that education is something big, especially now that we're all in college. We know that education plays a big role into success, and I believe that we need to change that about our Mexican culture and our Mexican families, and encourage higher education more than we do now. Because yeah, 9% to 10% of Mexican people have a bachelor's degree. I believe that we're all smart enough as a culture and as a family that we can get those numbers way up. So that's my topic, education in Mexican family. Hope you enjoyed.